Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming to help us celebrate Shakespeare's birthday. I'd like to start things out by reading the 23rd sonnet. As an imperfect actor on the stage, who with his fear is put besides his part, or some fierce thing replete with too much rage, whose strength's abundance weakens his own heart. So I, for fear of trust, forget to say,
I've been a wild rover for many a year.
Ceremony of love's ring.
I spent all my money on... You're looking really good today. I would so give you a red pepper on ratemyprofessors.com. I mean, really. But now I'm returning with golden, great.
What's here? One dead? Or drunk? See, doth he breathe?
He breathes, my lord. Were he not warmed with ale, this were but a cold bed to sleep so soundly.
Monstrous beast, how like a swine he lies. Grim death, how foul and loathsome is thine image. Sirs, I will practice on this drunken man. What think you if he were conveyed to bed, wrapped in sweet clothes, rings put upon his fingers, a most delicious banquet by his bed, and brave attendants near him when he wakes? Would not the beggar then forget himself?
My lord, I think he cannot choose.
It would seem strange unto him when he waked.
Even as a flattering dream or worthless fancy. Then take him up, manage well the jest, carry him gently to my fairest chamber, and hang it round with all my wanton pictures, warm the fouled head, in warm distilled waters, and burn sweet wood to make the lodging sweet. Procure me music ready when he wakes, to make it dulcet and a heavenly sound.
And if he chance to speak, be ready straight with a low submissive reverence. Say, what is it your honor will command?
Let one attend him with a silver basin full of rose water, and be strewed with flowers. Another, bear the ewer, a third a diaper, and say, will it please your lordship, cool your hands.
Someone be ready with the costly suit, and ask him what apparel he will wear. Another tell him of his hounds and horse, and that his lady mourns of his disease.
Persuade him that he hath been lunatic, and when he says he is, say that he dreams. For he is nothing but a mighty lord. This do, and do it kindly, gentle sirs. It'll be pastime passing excellent, if it be husbanded with modesty.
My lord, I warrant you, we will play our part, and he shall think by our true diligence he is no less than what we say he is.
And please, your honor, players offer service to your lordship. Now, fellows, you are welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you intend to stay with me tonight?
So please your lordship to accept her.
With all my heart. This fellow I remember, since once you played a farmer's eldest son, which was where you wooed the gentlewoman so well. I forgot your name, but sure that part was aptly fitted and naturally performed.
I think 'twas so, Your Honor.
'Tis very true. Thou didst it excellent. You are come to me in happy time, the rather, for I have some sport in hand, wherein your cunning can assist me much.
There is a lord will hear you play tonight, but I am doubtful of your modesties, lest over-eyeing of his odd behavior, for yet his honor never heard her play. You break into some merry passion and so offend him. For I tell you, sirs, if you should smile, he grows impatient.
Fear not, my lord. We can contain ourselves. Were he the veriest antic in the world.
Sirrah, go you to Bartholomew my page. See him dressed in all suits like a lady. That done, conduct him to the drunkard's chamber, and call him madam, and do him obeisance. Tell him for me as he will win my love. He bear himself with honorable action, such as he hath observed in noble ladies unto their lords by them accomplished.
Such duty to the drunkard let him do, with soft, low tongue and lowly courtesy, and say, what is it your honor will command? Wherein your lady and humble wife may show her duty and make known her love. And then with kind embracements and tempting kisses, and with declining head into his bosom, bid him shed tears, as being overjoyed to see her noble lord restored to health, who for the 7 years hath esteemed him no better than a poor and loathsome beggar.
If the boy have not a woman's gift, to rain a shower of command with tears. And none, I'll give thee more instructions. I know the boy will well usurp the grace, voice, gait, and action of a gentlewoman. I long to hear him call the drunkard husband, Now my men will stay themselves from laughter when they do homage to this simple peasant.
For God's sake, a pot of small ale!
Will it please your lordship to drink a cup of sack?
Will it please your honor to taste these conserves?
What raiment will your honor wear today?
I am Christophero Sly. Call me not honor nor lordship. I never drank sack in my life. And if you give me any conserves, give me conserves of beef. Ne'er ask me what raiment I'll wear, for I'll have no more doublets than backs, no more stockings than legs, and no more shoes than feet. Nay, sometime more feet than shoes, or such shoes as my toes look through the overleather.
Having ceased this idle humor in your honor, oh, that a mighty man of such descent, of such possessions and so high esteem, be so infused with a foul spirit.
What? Would you make me mad? Am I not Christopher Sly, old Sly's son of Burton Heath, by birth a peddler, by education a card maker, by transmutation a bear herd, and now by present profession an English professor? What? I am not distraught. Here's...
Oh, this it is that makes your lady mourn.
Oh, this it is that makes your servants droop.
Hence comes it that your kindred shuns your house, as beaten hence by your strange lunacy. O noble lord, bethink thee of thy birth. Call home thy ancient thoughts from banishment, and banish hence these abject, lowly dreams. Look how thy servants do attend on thee, each in his office ready at thy beck. Wilt thou have music? Hark, Apollo plays. 20 caged nightingales do sing. Or wilt thou sleep? We'll have thee to a couch softer and sweeter than a lustful bed, on purpose trimmed up for Semiramis. Dost thou love hawking? Thou hast hawks will soar above the morning lark. Or wilt thou hunt? Thy hounds shall make the welkin answer them, and fetch shrill echoes from the hollow earth.
Say that wilt course. Thy greyhounds are as swift as breed stags, aye, fleeter than the roe.
Dost thou love pictures? We will fetch thee straight, Adonis painted with Pyrone brook. Marion, all in sedges hid, which seemed to move and wanton with her breath, even as the waving sedges play the wind.
Thou art a lord, nothing but a lord. Thou hast a lady far more beautiful than any woman in this waiting age.
Until the tears that she has shed for thee, like envious floods o'errun her lovely face, she was the fairest creature in the world, and yet she is inferior to none.
Am I a lord? Have I such a lady? Or do I dream? Or have I dreamed till now? I do not sleep. I hear, I see, I speak. I smell sweet savors, feel soft things. Upon my life, I am a lord indeed, and not a tinker, nor Christopher Sly. Well, bring our lady hither to our sight, and once again, a pot of the smallest ale.
Will it please you, readiness to wash your hands? Oh, how we joy to see your wit restored. Oh, that once more you knew but what you are. These 15 years you have been in a dream. Or when you waked, so waked as if you slept.
These 15 years. A goodly nap? But did I never speak of all that time?
Oh yes, my lord, the very idle words. For though you were here in this goodly chamber, yet you would say you were beaten out of door, and rail upon the mistress of the house.
The woman's the maid of the house. Well, Lord be thanked for my good amends.
Amen.
I thank thee. Thou shalt not lose by it. How fares my noble lord? I'm married to Chuck Marion. Marry I fare well, for here is cheer enough. Where is my wife?
Here, noble lord, what is thy will with her?
Are you not my wife, and will not call me husband? My men should call me lord, and I am your goodman.
My husband and my lord and husband, I am your wife in all obedience.
I know it well. What must I call her?
Madam.
Alice, madam, or Joan, madam?
Madam, nothing else. So lords call ladies.
Madam wife, they say that I have dreamed and slept above some 15 years or more.
Aye, and the time seems 30 unto me, being all this time abandoned from your bed.
'Tis much. Servants, leave me and her alone. Madam, undress you now and come now to bed.
Thrice, noble lord, let me entreat of you to pardon me yet for a night or two, or if not so, until the sun be set. For your physicians have expressly charged in peril to incur your former malady, that I should yet absent from your bed. I hope this reason stands for my excuse.
Aye, it stands so that I may hardly tarry so long. But I would be loath to fall into my dreams again. I will therefore tarry in spite of the flesh and blood.
Your honored players, hearing your amendment, are come to play a pleasant comedy. For so your doctors hold it very meet, seeing too much sadness hath congealed your blood, and melancholy is the nurse of frenzy. Therefore they thought it good you hear a play, and frame your mind with mirth and merriment, which bars 1,000 harms and lengthens life.
Marry, I will hear it. Let them play it. Is not a comedy a Christmas gamble or a tumbling trick?
No, my good lord, it is more pleasing stuff.
What? Household stuff?
It is a kind of history.
Well, we'll see it. Come, madam wife, sit by my side, and let the world slip. We shall ne'er be younger. So here's the real beginning. One thing Shakespeare knew: we're all master actors. We play characters, we switch masks, we project the images we think we need to fit the occasion, all in an attempt to avoid revealing those real selves we're too afraid, are too inadequate, too ugly, or too unworthy. The problem is that it's too easy to accept those kinds of projections as reality, to the point that anything that stands to reveal our precious illusions as such threatens to force our gaze back on that vulnerable core we don't want to acknowledge. So when we're confronted with those things, we fight them. Often the only question is how far we're willing to go and who we're willing to hurt to maintain those illusions. It's this kind of delusion that leads Othello to kill Desdemona, that leads the Montagues and the Capulets to fail to see what's killing their own children, and it's what leads the drunken Sly in the induction to Taming of the Shrew allow himself to be so easily seduced into accepting a false sense of reality that others have created for him. Christ had a word for this kind of self-deception. He called it pride. But one of the things that makes Shakespeare Shakespeare is that he figured out something else as well. If pride is essentially a diluted form of acting in which the actor has forgotten or suppressed the fact that he or she is playing a role, then the best defense would be a situation in which we can comfortably recognize acting for what it is and see the consequences in others of the kind of forgetting to which we are all too vulnerable, of the good and evil uses to which we can put our natural human ability to put on shows for one another. Shakespeare had a word for this kind of antidote to pride. He called it theater. The various ways in which Shakespeare allows us to see ourselves amount to definitions of the various genres in which he worked. He can let us step back and laugh at ourselves in comedies, help us see the consequences of extremes of self-deception and tragedies, show us the vulnerable humanity or the tragic pride of big figures of the past in histories, and demonstrate the kind of vulnerability and self-revelation that leads to more authentic relationships in romances and even model in literary form authentic introspection in the sonnets. Of course, all the plays and all the poems interweave all these elements. If all of Shakespeare's work, at least in one of many possible interpretations, is about the theatricality of life and the potential destructiveness and redemptiveness of that theatricality, then experiencing Shakespeare is not simply something for English and theater majors, although we have a lot of fun with it. It's for everyone who puts on a mask of any kind. Anyone who acts one way at work, another at home, and another at church. Anyone who's ever seen a relationship end because one person felt it less painful to break it off him or herself than to risk that the other party might do it first. Anyone who has ever had difficulty understanding another person, or anyone who has ever been hurt by another's inability to understand him or her. It's also for anyone who loves a good show, who loves to be silly, you know where my sympathies lie, who needs a good cry now and then, and who likes getting caught up with others and creating another world and living in it for a while. It's for anyone and some who sees the value in serious play, in both senses of that word, both of putting on a play and of playing. And each play, each song, each sonnet is precisely that, another created world. So we invite you today to help us create some of those worlds. We invite you to celebrate Shakespeare by doing the one thing he consistently asks his own audiences to do: play with us. We're going to hear a number of things here, several of Shakespeare's sonnets read by different people, and a few of his songs as well. And so I'll just let these go. The first is Krin Mcmillen.
So this is Hark the Echoing Air from The Fairy Queen.
Try glad I get to read and not sing. I won't even say it, Barrett. Sonnet 15. When I consider everything that grows, holds in perfection but a little moment, that this huge stage presenteth not, but shows whereon the stars in secret influence comment. When I perceive that men as plants increase, cheered and checked even by the selfsame sky, vaunt in their youthful sap, at height decrease, and wear their brave state out of memory. Then the conceit of this inconstant stay sets you most rich in youth before my sight, where wasteful time debateth with decay, to change your day of youth to sullied night, and all in war with time for love of you, as he takes from you, I engraft you new. And now we'll hear from Will Keillor.
This is Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely, and more tempered. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath also short. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and washes gold complexion. Every fair sometimes declines. By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest, so long as men can breathe and eyes can see. So long lives this, and this gives life to thee. The next is Emily Bell.
I'll be singing Orpheus with his lute from Henry Lee.
Sonnet 23. As an unperfect actor on stage. As an unperfect actor on the stage, who with his fear is put beside his part, or some fierce thing, replete with too much rage, whose strength's abundance weakens his own heart, so I, for fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's rite, and in mine own love's strength seem to decay, or charged with burden of mine own love's might. Oh, let my books be then the eloquence and dumb presagers of my speaking breast, who plead for love and look for recompense more than that tongue that more hath more expressed. Oh, learn to read what silent love hath writ. To hear with eyes belongs to love's fine wit. Now we'll hear from Barrett Fischer.
This is Sonnet 29, and the English teacher in me has to point out that it's actually a single sentence, and that there is an off rhyme. I haven't gotten it wrong. When in disgrace with fortune in men's eyes, I all alone do weep my outcast state. In trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, like him, featured like him, with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sing hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such riches bring, that I then scorn to change my state with kings. And now we're going to hear three madrigals.
The ensemble will be singing three madrigals: O Mistress Mine from Twelfth Night, Take, O Take Those Lips Away from Measure by Measure, and Sigh No More Ladies from Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh, mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, stay and hear your true love's coming, that can sing both high and low, high and low, high and low, high and low.
Trip no further, pretty sweeting, trip no further, pretty sweeting.
Journeys end in lovers meeting,
every wise man's son doth know. What is love, 'tis not hereafter.
Present mirth hath present laughter, what's to come is still unsure, still unsure, still unsure.
In delay there lies no plenty, in
delay there lies no plenty, in delay there lies no plenty.
Then don't kiss me sweet and
Kiss
twenty,
me sweet
it's a soft and not
it's a soft and not and
not and not and not and
Take, oh, take those lips away, that so sweetly were forsworn.
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more, sigh no more, no more. Men were deceivers ever, 1 foot in sea, 1 foot in sea, 1 foot in sea, 1 foot in sea, and 1 on shore, and 1 on shore, and 1 on shore.
Constant never,
Then sigh not so,
but let them go,
and be you blithe and bonny, converting your sounds of woe into
hey nonny nonny,
hey nonny nonny, hey nonny nonny, hey. Sing no more, ditty, sing no more, sing no more, no more. Of tones so dull and heavy, fraud of man, a fraud of man, a fraud of man. Was ever so, was ever so, was ever so.
The first was levy,
Then sigh not so,
but let them go,
and be you blithe and bonny, converting your sounds of woe into hey nonny 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 hey nonny nonny hey.
Next will be Angela Shannon.
Sonnet 55. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments of prince shall outlive this powerful ride. But you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept storm besmeared with sluggish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and brawls root out the work of masonry, nor Moors his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. Against death and all oblivious enmity shall you pace forth. Your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to ending doom. So till judgment that yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Sonnet 73. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. There ruined choirs where like the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west. Death's which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self, that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. Bothun.
This is Come Away, Death from Twelfth Night. heart of death, no one so true did share it. Not a flower sweet, on my black coffin let there be strong. Not a friend greet my poor corpse where my bones shall be strong. Thousand sighs to save, lay me, oh, where sad true love will never find my grave to And next we have Earleen Warner.
Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his grief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon reproof, I never rinse, nor know man for the love. Next markers.
I'm reading one. I didn't know that. So I'm going to go on to the next one. Paragraph.
Hello, I will be singing Crabbed Age and Youth from The Passionate Pilgrim.
Crabbed age and youth cannot live together. Youth is full of pleasance, age is full of care. Youth like summer moon, age like winter weather. Youth like summer rain, age like winter youth is full of sport, age is breath is short. Youth is nimble, age is tame. Youth is hot and bold, age is weak and cold. Youth is wild, and age is tame. Age, I do adore thee. Youth, I do adore thee. Oh, my love is young. Age, I do defy thee. Oh, sweet shepherd, hie thee, for me things, for me things, for me things thou stayest, for me things thou
Second, David Stewart.
We're going to read, Sonnet 30, and mine will be followed by my colleague, Rhonda Gilbraith, reading Sonnet 106. When, to the sessions of sweet silent thought, I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes, new wail my dear times waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow, for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell o'er the sad account of fore bemoaned moan, which I do pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think of thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end.
This is Sonnet 106. When in the chronicle of wasted time, I see descriptions of the fairest whites and beauty making beautiful old rhyme in praise of ladies dead and lovely knights. Then in the blazon of sweet beauty's best, of hand, of foot, of lip, of eye, of brow, I see their antique pen would have expressed in such a beauty as you master now. So all their praises are but prophesies of this our time, all you pre-beginning. And for they looked but with divining eyes, they had not skill enough your worth to sing. For we, which now behold these present days, had eyes to wonder, but lack tongues to praise. And that concludes our Primetime celebration of Shakespeare's birthday. I want to thank you all for coming and participating, and to encourage you to have cake or to make a Shakespeare scene out of Easter peeps.